Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Wanna highlight 10 awesome Steam game deals under the price of $10. Let's just cut right to it. Let's get into the deals. And let's start things off with a couple of Rockstar games. We got Max Payne 3, first of all, 70% off for $6. You know, when you talk about all the Rockstar titles, people talk about Red Dead, people talk about the GTA titles. Max Payne is not one that a lot of people gravitate towards, and I think it deserves a little bit more love. Max Payne 3 was actually one of the very first titles that I really played in my foray into PC gaming. I got my 7750 right before Max Payne 3 came out, and it ended up being a game that I really enjoyed playing. Visually, it holds up pretty well. Very, very mature game. I know not a lot of people are super into the bullet time elements of Max Payne, but I think it works out pretty well, and overall the narrative is compelling, and super gritty, mature title, incredibly bloody, obviously not for, you know, the faint of heart, not for younger consumers to say the least, but a really solid game, and for $6, I think it's a great pickup. Next up, we got Bully Scholarship Edition. This is 65% off for $5.24. Another Rockstar title that doesn't get enough love, but there's definitely that cult following where people do want to see the game get a sequel. I don't know if that's ever going to happen just because, you know, I feel like Rockstar is very much invested into working on GTA and maybe Red Dead, but Bully is a great game. It definitely has its quirk to it, but it has a lot of charm, and it's a zany, off-the-wall game, but it's a game that I think everybody should play. Yes, does it show its age? Absolutely. You know, it's a mid-2000s title, but still very much worthwhile to go through, and I would say for $5.24, well worth a pickup here. Lastly, for the Rockstar titles, do want to give a shout to LA Noire as well. 70% off for $5.99. I loved LA Noire. I feel like this is a game that was really ahead of its time when it came out back in the fall of 2010. The PC release came a year later, but it's an incredibly compelling game that has a fantastic narration, and also I remember the facial animations in the game was something that, you know, people were really blown away by back in the day. It's still an incredibly compelling game. If you like that setting, I think you'll really enjoy it, and I think it's a worthwhile game for everybody to at least give a chance to. For $6, it's a great buy, and I had a great time, and definitely a game that at some point I need to do a playthrough of. You know, on PC, there's just access to so many games from like a decade plus ago that I think I'm like, man, that's probably a game I should give another playthrough to at some point, because it's been a long time since I played LA Noire. But yeah, definitely want to do another playthrough of that. But, you know, I've got about 100 games I want to do another playthrough of, so might have to take a back burner for a little while. Next up, we got XCOM Enemy Unknown, and I want to give a shout to XCOM 2 The Collection. XCOM Enemy Unknown is still worthwhile to pick up. The complete pack is 80% off for $9.99, while the base game is $5.99. The complete pack will get you Enemy Unknown, Enemy Within, the Elite Soldier pack, and Enemy Unknown the Slingshot pack. Really, the main thing you need to worry about is Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within. Those are fantastic, incredible tactics-based, turn-based strategy game. And XCOM 2 The Collection will get you XCOM 2, and you'll also get War of the Chosen and some of the other DLC packs. Both games are worthwhile to play through, and I've mentioned before, I'm not huge into tactics titles, but these are both games that I found incredibly rewarding, incredibly replayable. Could be very challenging for some, but enjoyable games nonetheless. XCOM 2 did have some technical issues at launch. A lot of that has been remedied, and XCOM Enemy Unknown, at this point, a great game to go through. Enemy Unknown is deck playable, as is XCOM 2. Next up, we gotta give everybody's favorite publisher in Ubisoft some shine. I kid. Rayman Legends, 80% off for $6. Obviously, a lot of people don't like Uplay and whatnot, but Rayman Legends is a tremendous platformer that I would strongly recommend. If you're looking for a high-quality platformer that is up to par with some of the best platformers on the market, this is one that doesn't get a lot of love, and it's an incredible game that Ubisoft really should do more with the IP that they have in Rayman. This has a ton of levels to go through as well. It has like a bunch of content from Rayman Origins as well, so like you're talking about a lot of levels for you to go through, and it's just a really well-designed platformer that anybody can really get into, and for this price at $6, easy recommendation here, and definitely one worthwhile to check out. Again, no-brainer there as far as that price is concerned. Next up, we've got Hitman Absolution, 70% off for $5.99. Now, I know a lot of people don't really vibe with Hitman Absolution comparatively to some of the other Hitman titles, like Hitman Blood Money seems to be one that a lot of people gravitate towards. I really had a great time with Hitman Absolution. This is another one of those games that I played early on in my PC gaming days, so maybe I have that nostalgic element to it, but I had a great time with it. And it was really one of the first Hitman games I really got into. I thought visually it looked great. The gameplay as a stealth action title, I thought worked well. Just had a good time with it. $60 is probably a bit pricey, but at $6, I think it's a great price. And I would say if you're looking for a stealth action title, you know, it still holds up fairly well visually, even being over a decade old. And I think it's a worthwhile pickup. I know a lot of people these days gravitate towards, you know, Hitman 2 and whatnot, but yeah, I think at $6, this is a great pickup as well. Next up, mentioned it earlier this week, but Middle-earth Shadow of War Definitive Edition. This is just a great deal, and if you want to pick this up, go for it. But if you don't have Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, you should also look at the Middle-earth The Shadow Bundle. That is 90% off for $7. I just know a lot of you guys have Shadow of Mordor, but if you don't, this bundle is crazy, because you got Shadow of War the expansion pack, Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of Mordor the Game of the Year Edition upgrade. All of that for $7, which is just absolutely insane for the quality and content you're getting here. This is an insane deal. Like, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War are both really well-made open-world games with very satisfying combat, a lot of content, but not like an overwhelming amount of content, which I think is actually, you know, in the gaming climate these days, I think that's pretty good. Like, I'm not crazy about a lot of, you know, 100-hour plus games, although across both games, you're gonna be, you know, inching pretty close to that with all the additional content and whatnot. But nevertheless, both games for $7, they look and run really well as well. And given we're in a climate with a lot of, you know, poor PC versions, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War are both games I think you should play through. Next up, want to give a mention to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, man. It is 50% off for $9.99, and yes, these COD games are egregiously priced by Activision on, on Steam. Like, some of the Black Ops games are still $60. Like, what's going on here? But COD 4, you're primarily buying the game at this stage of the game for the campaign, but this is an iconic game that, you know, a lot of people were brought into the fold of Call of Duty with COD 4. I know a lot of people play COD 2 as well, but COD 4 was a revolutionary game, and I can't believe it's been over 15 years, nearing on 16 years since this game has come out. Man, how does time fly? But I still remember, man, getting this game back in 07 and being up until like 4 a.m. just grinding on online multiplayer, and the campaign is really good. Even though COD 4 revolutionized online multiplayer for a lot of people, like, the campaign was solid. It was a shorter campaign, obviously, but it was a well-made campaign, and I had a great time with that as well. Look, for $9.99, yes, a lot of this is nostalgia speaking, but I think every library should have COD 4. Lastly, I also want to give a shout to another Activision title. Raven Software had done Singularity, and it's 75% off for $7.49. This is a really well done sci-fi FPS. Played it way back when it came out and had a great time with it. Is it an absolute blowaway game? No, and it definitely shows its age, but I think overall, it's still an enjoyable action FPS to get into. Has a time, you know, a time element going on for it as well. Interesting atmosphere and a little bit off the wall as well. $7.49, good price for that as well. Or alternatively, you can buy the Activision Collection for 53 items for $523. Yeah, that's a joke, of course, but $7.49 for Singularity, pretty solid deal there. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, links to all of these deals as always will be in the description box below. A lot of great deals as always available directly on Steam. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.